I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-Minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good morning, Peter Matthew. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
I'm really well, Angel. It's not so beautiful here in the southwest of England, but still a great day to be alive.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Well, hey, Peter, we do have in our email draft inbox just for you an email there that I can send filled with Caribbean sunshine. Just let me know, okay?
Absolutely. Send it over.
Peter, please do tell me which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time.
Two, I guess. One, I'm a certified financial planner at CFP, and here in the UK, a chartered financial planner, but I'm also an award-winning podcaster. So I guess that's the main reason.
Yeah, it's like all the confetti drops there. Ooh, yeah. So tell us about your podcast, please.
The podcast is called Meaningful Money. It's been going for 5 years, 237 episodes, which is nothing, of course, compared to you. But it's one of the leading personal finance podcasts here in the UK, nearly 1.2 million downloads in total, and going really well.
Wow, congratulations, Peter. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Wow. Yeah. I'm the sprinter, but you're the guy that has been running the marathon. That's wonderful. Right. That's wonderful. So who did you learn the skill of podcasting from?
Three people primarily made me fall in love with podcasting. The first was Pat Flynn of smartpassiveincome.com. I love that guy still. Haven't met him yet, but planning to rectify that soon. Cliff Ravenscraft. He has many podcasts, but he's known as the podcast answer man. And then finally, Michael Hyatt of michaelhyatt.com, who blogs and podcasts on leadership and personal productivity. Those are the guys that I listen to and seek to emulate every day.
Three distinguished gentlemen of podcasting. Now that's fascinating.
Royalty. Podcasting royalty.
Love it. So now that you've jumped in, you've combined what seems to be your passion with your purpose by podcasting about finances. Why will you continue to repeat this skill?
There is no question. The reason that I continue to record week in, week out is the feedback that I get from listeners, particularly about how they have changed their own lives based on the information and the tools that I've given them. So I get emails every day from people saying that they used to have a load of credit card debt and they've now got rid of that and they're saving for their future. Without any question, that is the reason that I keep going, because I just love to make a small difference in these people's lives. They're the ones doing all the work, but it's a joy to be able to give them the inspiration and the tools to move forward.
That's fascinating. You could actually hear the contentment that comes from other people's contentment in your voice.
Yeah, that's the way I do it, man. That's the reason I started, and it's the reason I continue.
Love it. What's one other thing you've done consistently over the last 3 years?
Write is the answer to that. I sort of write probably 10,000 words a week, probably in total. If it's not the podcast, then it's, sort of stuff just for myself. Most of it never sees the light of day, but just consistently writing has been the thing probably that I've done for the last 3 years. It should be exercise, but it hasn't been. It's been writing instead. Yeah. Not quite so good for my health.
Yeah, you exercise your fingers, right?
Uh-huh.
How does it make you feel?
It helps me refine my thoughts and sort of process what's going on in the world and the sort of stuff which is coming at me the whole time. So I find it extremely cathartic and just, helps me get some perspective is how it makes me feel, really.
What do you use to write on?
It could be anything. The podcast takes a lot. I'm starting writing. I'm in the middle of writing a book at the minute, the book of the podcast, if you like, a sort of basic guide to personal financial success. So it's all sorts, really. Sometimes I write stuff for entirely different spheres of my life, but mostly it's about the podcast and the job that I do.
And are you like a computer typewriter, or are you using pen and paper and then
No, I'm
transferring?
I'm definitely a computer nerd. I was raised with computers. I'm 42 years old, so I was kind of raised on the leading edge of people having computers in their homes, really. They just started to become prevalent in people's homes when I was growing up. So I've always had a computer in the house, and so I can type pretty quick.
All right. Suggest to someone out there that's listening why they have such a part of their life where they, again, get to strip things away and see them for what they are.
Sorry, say that question again.
Sure.
Sorry,
Suggest to someone that's listening why they should do what you've done, where they have a part of their life where they strip things away and get to see them for what they are.
Cool. I think writing, it really doesn't have to be great writing. It doesn't have to be like Pulitzer Prize winning, Nobel Prize winning literature, but the actual physical act of getting down your thoughts either on paper or on a screen just helps you process. It's a kind of waking dreaming in a way. So if you just let it pour out of you and just almost talk to yourself through writing, I think it really helps you process, get some perspective, provides a lot of clarity about a lot of things. It's a weird thing, but it works.
Amazing audience. You're hearing it live here from Peter Matthew. Peter, where's the best place for someone to connect with you?
The best place is meaningfulmoney.tv. That's the website where everything lives.
Love it. Peter, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Peter, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest memory is sitting in the front room with my mother and presumably some of her friends. I remember other people being there. And the thing that sort of still is really fresh is that I was convinced that 1 hour was a whole afternoon. So I just must have processed that somehow, that when Mum said, we've got an hour to go or we'll do that in an hour, that was like a whole afternoon. It just seemed like a really long time.
How old were you in this memory?
I'd say I was 3 years old, somewhere like that, possibly even 2.
Wow.
Very young.
Wow. So why do you think this memory in particular is so clear?
That is the only memory I have of the house that we lived in at the time. So maybe that's just the only imprint. But other than that, it's a pretty of an irrelevant memory, really. So I don't know why it has stuck. But it's absolutely the earliest thing I can recall.
All right, I'll ask one more question. How do you see this memory connecting to who you are if you looked at it?
I don't know. Perhaps it's something to do with time management. An hour being a whole afternoon. I really don't know. It's a strange memory.
Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Okay, go for it.
I love the idea that how we learn is important. So the thing that's happening is you are given information and the way you process it is important. So without asking a question, so important, a question that can bring clarification, which then gives you education, is so important to be information. So that just rhymed there, which was really weird.
Even better.
Yeah, but I do love the fact that in the financial world which you operate in now, it's a lot like that. Like there's the information that's out there that seems to be something, and then as you drill deeper, there's more to understanding. And as you get more information on a topic, especially you were talking about debt and just how that affects you. But when you do drill deeper and understand how it really affects you, then you're able to apply the right decision. So to see you, the accountant, if you would, not having the correct start off and what was the impact of that is fascinating to me, that now you've drilled down to the place where you have improved your finances, but now you allow other people to understand that money matters.
You may well be right.
If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
My favorite song at the time was a song called Hit You Where You Live by the contemporary Christian rock band called Petra from their album On Fire from 1987.
Love it. Well, Peter, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Peter?
Yeah, go for it.
Peter, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes, I'm coaching a young advisor here in the UK.
Are you married?
I am, to Joanne, for 20 years.
Wow, give us a secret, please.
Always consider the other one more important than yourself.
Do you have children?
I have 2 beautiful daughters, Ellie, who's nearly 18, and Kate, who is nearly 15.
Wow. Do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yeah, I work with my 2 best friends in the world, and I also have a mastermind group who I share pretty much everything with, 3 other guys who are in similar position in business to me.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Hell no, less than 3 hours a week.
Oh, what about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Definitely, I spend a lot of time looking at a computer, definitely more than 8 hours a day, but always productively. I tend not to waste time on a computer.
Peter, after 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, I came up with a workbook thereafter. The name of it is called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And the idea is you answer questions similar to these to uncover your own unique real statement, what I equate to your mission. If you, Peter, had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Peter Matthew, what would you say that is?
I would say that financial freedom comes from 3 things. I use the acronym BPI. B stands for budget, spend less than you earn. P stands for protect, so take out insurance against the worst things in life. And then I stands for invest, so save regularly, often, and increasingly over time. Do those 3 things and it's guaranteed financial success. That is what I've spent the last, probably 7 or 8 years really of doing Meaningful Money, refining. And that is my sort of mission in life, really, to tell people that.
Love it. Peter Matthew, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Sure. Check out the podcast, meaningfulmoney.tv. I'm on iTunes, of course. Just search for Meaningful Money. And hit me up, Pete Matthew, on almost all the social networks.
Love it. Peter Matthew, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you for having me, Angel.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com. And for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.